After many months of repairs to take out slow zones, are T riders getting a smoother ride? After several service disruptions, including a derailment and downed wires, the answer depends on who you ask. So with ongoing repairs suspending service on parts of the Orange Line and more work to come across the MBTA, GBH News transportation reporter Bob Seay joins me now with what to expect in the weeks to come. Bob, what happened this morning?
Well, an unfortunate convergence of events took place. Two Green Line trains became disabled at the same time, right during morning rush hour, at the same time that the Orange Line, part of the Orange Line, was shut down for repairs. So all of that happening at once caused big backups.
And there was just a Green Line derailment over the weekend.
Well,
that's right.
Once again, you know, the first day that the MBTA restarts service on the Green Line after 18 days of repairs, we have a derailment. That was due to the car, according to the T, not the rails. So they're investigating that.
And there was also an incident where an Orange Line, I think, nearly took out some T workers who were working on the rail.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that the T hasn't quite got a full grasp on this situation, where there are workers working on the tracks and somehow the train operator doesn't know that they're ahead, and suddenly they have to scurry and hide against the wall as the train goes past. I mean, it's pretty scary. It's something the Federal Transit Administration has cited as being a real problem.
And while all of this is happening, we're also looking ahead just into April. There's a ton of shutdowns in April. Orange Line, Silver Line, Red Line, Blue Line. There's going to be some shutdowns on the Haverhill Line, you know, a couple days at a time. What does all of this mean? I mean, what is going on?
Well, somebody overheard somebody speaking on the Red Line the other day about the problems that were going on and saying, well, why don't they just shut down the whole system until they can fix it? That's essentially what's happening in segments. They're actually having to fix the entire system, but they're doing it in segments so that there will be continuing disruption right through this year.
We spoke to some MBTA riders last week. Here's some clips of that.
The evening rush hour, there are not enough trains on the D line for sure, because sometimes, especially when there's a Red Sox game, it's impossible to get on a train.
In the morning, there's sometimes hardly any space for even standing. And getting them more often, there was a time when during early rush hour and in the evening, it would be a train every 7 minutes. It's still busy, but now it's every 20 minutes. In the evening,
I took the Orange Line because I walked from Heinz Convention Center because I guess they're fixing it. So I had to walk all the way from the Fenway to Back Bay and then jump on the Orange Line. But they need to improve it. We're in 2024.
So it's like every day, once you get used to that route, right,
right.
then it changes.
Right. And as much as you can publicize what the changes are going forward, people still that first day are not used to it, and there's a lot of confusion. But unfortunately, that's the way it's going to have to be for a while until they can get these tracks fixed and those slow zones removed.
And I mean, we are used to red lines on fire and green lines. We hear about this stuff all the time, but this does feel like a lot of chaos. It feels like a massive overhaul. Is this just growing pains towards a sleek, futuristic, fast, perfectly running T service in the future? Is that what we're moving towards?
It's making up for decades of negligence and neglect in maintaining the system. And so now we're having to go through the painful process of fixing all the things that they didn't take care of for years.
And is that so? That's all that it is, really. It's growing pains, I hope.
Well, I think eventually, as we progress, people will gradually see some improvement. There has been improvement on every subway line except the Red Line since they've begun the work last fall. So there will be gradual improvement, but it's going to take a while for people to really appreciate the faster trips.
And I want to talk to you about Mayor Michelle Wu has been out, as we were talking to commuters. She's been doing this TikTok series, right? Commute with me. Can you talk about that? I mean, I know she's yeah.
I think it's, well, first, transportation is her big thing. And I remember when she first proposed fare-free tea, people were like, how is this even possible? But she is reminds me of Dukakis in a way back in the day, riding the T and actually bringing to life some of the real everyday problems that commuters face. And I think it's wonderful that she's doing it.
Let's watch a clip of Mayor Wu's TikTok commuting with a rider.
Good morning. It is 7:45 in Alston, and we are here to commute with Molly to Brigham and Women's Hospital.
Hi. Good morning.
Is this okay?
This is great.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm squeezed on.
A lot of the bus stops are just loan benches. If that, if you get a bench, that's a good bus stop. That's a bus stop. 90% of them are just
No shelter, no heat.
So she mentions in that clip that her commute would be 45 minutes on the train and also 45 minutes walking.
Right.
I mean, I love the transparency, right?
Yes. No, I like what she is doing, the mayor, in terms of bringing some of these problems to life. I mean, we can talk about them, but when you actually talk to commuters and understand what they have to go through every day, you get a greater appreciation of just how much work has to be done to improve the system.
Right. You have to actually be there on the ground. And all of this doom and gloom and everything crashing and falling apart, there is a bit of potentially, maybe kind of far away, good news with this Fairmount line battery electric trains that are coming.
Electrifying the Fairmount line, which runs through, Roxbury, Mattapan, from Reedville to South Station. And that's the community, those communities are the ones who feel the worst effects of diesel exhaust from the trains. So to electrify that line would be a major step forward. We should know in just another month, when they open the bids for this proposal, just how this is going to look. Probably 3 to 4 years in the future before we actually get something running, though.
On that timeline, that seems fast. Seems good. All right, Bob Seay, thank you so much. Transportation reporter for GBH. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.